Hey, so I just wanted to come on. Obviously, I'm new to YouTube, and you'll see a mismatch or a connection actually through speaking about Harry and Meghan and my frustrations, just like most people's. And also I do the aftermath, which to me the aftermath is the other side of domestic violence, when you get out and you're free and the world and you should be happy, you know? And what you don't realise is soon before you know it, you're in this void, all these ingrained actions and behaviours and silences and adrenaline on a loop over situations that you're placed in normal life, that safe life you're now in, which you don't feel comfortable in because you're set up in a way to feel comfortable in the pain, which leaves you vulnerable. And I suppose my connection there is, if we look at William and Harry, you know, they both experienced trauma. And you look at William and how he's not let that define him. He's healed and it's healthy, and he wasn't vulnerable, and he's only got gain from that, in how in this ditch, in this pit, in how you can dwell and be so self-indulgent when it's easier to hate than forgive, you know? So we got Harry, who's been majorly vulnerable in his pain, his trauma, that's been resurrected from that very day. I get frustrated with him, I get angry with him like we all do, but I also sense that trauma state. I don't look at Harry anymore as Harry, I see him as the little boy walking behind that coffin up that mound, because every time you sit them on the stage and we hear about seatbelts in car crashes and hanging off the mum's grave, it's all triggers. It's placed in there, and what seems to be, from my opinion, for her own gain, or she's totally unaware of what a trauma state and grief can do to someone. But as we watch Harry in a complete character change, there is a visual to what he was before and what he was now. And this is just my opinion, but I'm going to read a part of my book, and also I speak upon the aftermath about helping people connect the dots to the past. So if a trigger comes into your life, you are aware, you're pre-prepared for that moment. Your mind, your body, these chemical reactions start to kick off. So although you still feel that way and you still plummet a bit, it helps save you and bring you back out, because you're waking up your thinking brain in the meantime, constantly working on yourself, learning to love yourself, learning to grow past that time in your life, although it will always be a part of your story. And it's about, really, unlike Meghan Markle, it's about really thriving and no longer having to survive, like real time. And you know, this is what I do. It's connecting the past to the now, for when that portal opens up, taking you back to the sadness, you're able to take control, take stock and go, this is the trauma, this is the PTSD. I'm no doctor and I'm no specialist. I'm just a mom who grew up in abuse, who found myself in the aftermath struggling, who found her voice with the Johnny Depp Amber Heard court case and watching domestic violence on the screens, who then realised I can speak in a kinder way and found all these words that were hidden away from me. Hidden away. I did not know that I had this ability, and I want to be as loud and proud as I possibly can, so others see that they too may have a hidden way that's smokescreened by the pain. So I'm going to read a part of my book, and you can't sugarcoat domestic violence, but this is the reality for most. I can't explain the feeling you get, the pure fear running through your veins. Again, my mum shouting, please no, silence, my mouth stitched shut with fear. Or like the time I tried to get away up the stairs, around the bend he grabbed me, my ankles, and dragged me back down every step, my head crashing. At least this time I wasn't frozen, for adrenaline had kicked in, and in the moment I did not feel a thing. Just the motion of each step, one by one, carpet up my face. I had to run again the minute he lost grip, and get out of his sight and leave Mom to face the hate and fright. We felt hopeless and broken, chipped away every time, all these moments trying to draw upon. For this my moment had come. I sought my brother in his own room. He was stood by the door with tears in his eyes, looking at each other with the language of our eyes. It's okay, I whispered, as I too begin to cry. It was getting louder by the minute just behind the living room door. I hugged him and put him back just behind his. But he kept edging forward, maybe that pack-like instinct from the days before. I stood there listening intently to that door with again my whole body stood like a statue of stone, a dull pain running through each bone, my limbs unable to move like rigor mortis had set in. Dead inside, my body knew fight or flight was near. In fact, it was here. It was the minute I heard the first bang and shout, the tears uncontrollable running down my face, just wishing I wasn't here in this home or supposed safe place. Then the door handle smashed down and open. He dragged her into the hall, her shirt ripped open for crop top on show around the throat. His hands were laid, pinned up the coat peg, calling out for us to come. As my mom was crying a lifeless cry, feet off the ground, head tilted up, being forced to look at her broken children. Helpless in this battle, too young to fight, to come to her defence, he was screaming and spitting in her face with that shade of purple and a red across, like an ombre effect. Look, kids, this is your fault, you're to blame. Look at her, look at her. I remember a beam of light shining down on her face through that glass pane front door. Across the coat rack she was shoved against. With a blink of an eye, he had dragged her back in, as if we had wanted to show off to us like a trophy, a win. His abused, scared wife, our mom. We were screaming, cuddled up together. I knew I had to get help. What could I do? The front door was there, just down the stairs, and I'm gone. But my brother was here, so scared and small. We always stuck together. But this wasn't a choice anymore. She needed my help. This wasn't going to stop. I needed to get out. Don't leave me, he said. I don't want to. Believe me. It will be fine. It will be okay, I said. I made the choice in my head, but now it was getting my mind and head to work this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's go. I kept teasing myself over and over, my legs like dead weights in my head, thinking the phone is right there, just around the curve at the bottom of the stairs. I could slowly sneak down and press 999, but what if he came back to show off his win once more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, again, nope, legs still not going. Here goes, out of the blue, but reality not, as I have been waiting for this moment for the last 3 minutes or so. It felt like hours, and here goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was like I was stuck in my mind, no escape, paralysed with fear, and could only feel the tears screaming and crashing, getting worse. Mom's voice muffled with his hands over her mouth. That's it, I'm gone. Hearing my brother's screams behind me. Mom's in front. I needed to get help. For all, it is down to me. I needed out. My legs could not go any faster, just like my home. One extreme to another, stood still and scared to move. Next minute, like an athlete heading towards the finish line, a different kind of adrenaline propelling us forward, mind. This was safety, this was for calm, this was for my mom's life and my brother he could harm. That I left to face this alone. I had not decided a plan in my head, but right here in my moment, in my fight or flight, that had chosen the front door. I felt the pins and needles on the left side of my body as I came past the living room door in fear he would hear and could drag me in. They transferred up to my right hand as I tried to pull the latch on the door. Please don't hear me, please don't get me. I ran up to the path to the blue chipped metal gate. I needed to open. My hands were like jelly, fearing of him coming to get me from behind, transferring to the spine of my neck, a tense kind of feeling preparing me for an attack. My legs started to freeze. No, please, not now. My mom and brother need me. I need me. It opened. I ran out. Yeah, so pretty extreme, yeah? But this is the extremes what we were placed under, so this is why we have the aftermath in our now safe life. These stories, these moments don't go away, but it's about linking and acknowledging and feeling and validating ourselves in order for us to thrive, to be able and prepared to understand these moments in time that we will get drawn back to, but it's okay because we deserve a life separate to this, a box in our mind where we can place it away once we've processed, once we've understood. But I am not a doctor. This is just my way in how I found my voice, and I'm able to speak out like this and share this story with you in this way.